Hello and welcome. You are with News 9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar and I'm being joined in the studios by Mr. Ajit Vijay Kumar, my colleague. And we are telling you all about the breather that has come for Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Now, Pinarayi Vijayan, the Chief Minister of Kerala, has gotten a breather in the relief fund case, the Chief Minister's relief fund case. Vijayan, who was accused of granting funds to his own CPM party leaders from the disaster relief fund. The Lokayukta court has now given a split verdict and has also referred the case to a 3-judge bench. Now, bear in mind, this belongs to a case that was filed by an activist in the year 2018 on the grounds that the funds from the Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund were granted illegally to party leaders. We have Ajit Vijay Kumar with us. We also have Jisha set to join us, our correspondent. We also have Advocate Subhash Chandra joining us as well. Jisha, I'm going to take this across to you first. Tell us what's the latest on the ground when it comes to this particular case, and then we'll take this forward from there on.
The Lokayukta today has delivered a split verdict on this issue. It has been a much awaited judgment because it was supposed to be very crucial for Pinarayi Vijayan government. And if there was any adverse remarks, he will be forced to resign. So it was very crucial. But on the petition filed in 2018, a split verdict has come, and it was the Lokayukta and the Upa-Lokayukta has referred it to a 3-member bench. So it is a temporary relief to Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, but the petitioner has said that there is already an inordinate delay, and he wanted this Lokayukta to complete it in a time-bound manner.
Right. The question is always how temporary this particular relief is at this stage, Jisha?
It is up to Lokayukta to come up with a date, but so far. It can be said that in the interim relief for Pinarayi Vijayan, because this case pertains to the alleged fund misuse of the Chief Minister's Distress Relief Fund. The petitioner, Mr. R.S. Shashikumar, has mentioned 3 particular instances involved in the misuse. He has alleged that there was favoritism and nepotism behind the fund, the use of CM by the previous LDF government led by Pinarayi Vijayan. And the 3 particular instances he has mentioned, one is the financial aid given to former NCP state president Uravur Vijayan. His family was granted rupees 25 lakh, of which rupees 5 lakh was for the reimbursement of his medical expense and 10 lakh each for the educational purpose of his 2 children. And the second is the rupees 8.5 lakh granted to the family of former MLA KK Ramachandran Nair to pay off his personal debt. And the third instance was related to the granting of rupees 30 lakh, which was granted to the family of a policeman, a civil police officer, who died in an accident while he was giving escort to the former CPM State Secretary Kodiyeri Balakrishnan. So these 3 instances were particularly cited as cases of fund misuse of the fund in favor of people that are close to the LDF government. And the Lokayukta was supposed to deliver the case after the hearing was completed in by March 2022, but they reserved it till now. And now this the verdict was delivered because the petitioner approached the Kerala High Court saying that there is an inordinate delay. But now it is again referred to a 3-member bench. So there might be more delay.
Right. The inordinate delay then continues. The temporary relief that you're talking about continues. Advocate Subhash Chandra, from a legal perspective, tell us, what does this mean exactly? Is it just more of the same?
No, Mr. Krishna, actually, this is a common thing in the legal proceedings. Actually, the difference of opinion has arisen between the 2 members of this bench. And now they have referred it to a larger bench. It means that another member will be there, and it's a full bench. 3 bench will be hearing the matter, hearing the proceedings, and then only they will finally decide. And today's order, it's clearly mentioned that their difference is clear on
Right, we seem to be having some technical difficulties with the line with Advocate Subhash Chandra. We'll just get back to him. Meanwhile, Ajit, you've tracked this case. You know what it's all about. Tell us. They said the petition was filed because of an inordinate delay. And then it looks like another round of inordinate delays are up ahead.
Yeah, but then this is what something we'll have to live with, right? In terms of the way, in the manner in which the courts operate in our country. They have their own pace, and I think this three-member bench, and then they have to come to a conclusion, and then of course if they were to sit on it, and then again someone would have to approach the High Court, right? So this will go on, and I think it will be till at least he will have at least a couple of years, if not more, of time. But more importantly, I think as far as Pinarayi Vijayan and the CPM is concerned, he has kind of decided his successor, right? So I think the transition would be smooth even if he were to demit office.
Oh, the transition would be smooth. You're taking this that much forward. Jisha, I'm going to bring that back to you. Ajit, Vijay Kumar is taking this forward, saying that even if something were to happen, the transition would be smooth. But in terms of the case per se, how damaging is it for the Chief Minister of Kerala? In the court of the public, so to speak.
For Kerala particularly, for Kerala, this Lokayukta Amendment Act was very crucial because during the last Pinarayi Vijayan government, a minister had to resign because of an adverse verdict from the part of Lokayukta. Because there is one particular clause, there is section 14 of the Kerala Lokayukta Act, gives binding powers to the chief ministers, so that if there is an order where there is particular directive in relation with the section 14, then these people have to resign leave the public office. So in order to avoid this, after this issue of KTJD came forward, that's when the Kerala government decided to dilute this Lokayukta Act, and they came up with a bill last year in February, amending certain clauses, basically diluting these binding aspects of the Lokayukta Act, so that these people do not leave the public office when there is some adverse verdict. So, when this was referred to the governor, he didn't take a decision yet. This was passed in February last year, but the governor has not taken a decision yet. He said that he is worried over the constitutional validity of this bill and has not given an assent yet. So the government indeed tried to dilute this Lokayukta Act, keeping in mind that this was coming. The chief minister, there will be a verdict coming, and in case if the Lokayukta verdict mentions the section 14 of the Act, then he'll have to remit the office. He'll have to resign. So that keeping that in mind, that they have come up with this bill last year, but because of the governor delaying this, giving assent to this bill, it is dragging on, and even the Lokayukta seems to have waited this long to finally arrive with this, the changes in the amendment. But then the petitioner approached the High Court, and they have to come up with a verdict so fast. But
right.
again,
fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating what's going on, behind the Lokayukta per se when it comes to this case as well. Timing is very important, isn't it, Ajit, of all that's going on. That's what Jisha is saying when it comes to both the dilution of the Lokayukta in Kerala and the Chief Minister's case.
Right, and just adding to what Jisha just said about the amendment, right? And it's now with Governor Arif Muhammad Khan. And it is not a $1 million question that whether he will sign it or not. He will not sign it, right? Because it's been already 13 months since the bill reached his table. And coming to the larger question, what you were asking her about what people's perception would be about it.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you were to go to the details, and some of it she mentioned as well.
Yeah.
Is that one of the instances is when he actually paid 25 lakh rupees to party men for his personal expenses, personal debt, right? He was given 25 lakh rupees to service his personal debt, and that too from CM's disaster fund, right? So that's something that I think is not something that people in Kerala would take lightly to.
But the question is like, how big an offense is it? Will they? Because at the end of the day, it's not like they're going it forward for case for case. I just want to understand how important this particular case is when it comes to the people and the mood in Kerala. When it comes to their approval for the chief minister.
Well, it's not really a matter of approval because mind it that Pinarayi Vijayan is one of the very few CMs, if not the only one,
who has won a reterm.
Who has won a reterm, right? So he has his pulse.
Yes.
He has his hand on the pulse of people.
Of course.
And this, while this is damning to a certain extent, he can certainly go to the people's court and say that, hey, I was trying to just help people, and this is the money that you have entrusted me with. So I don't think so that it will gonna play a really important factor in terms of his perception as a leader.
Right.
But certainly if he were to move out of office, then that would be of great consequence to the politics of Kerala.
Oh yeah, because that is the worst case scenario that you're talking about, isn't it, Ajit Vijay Kumar, at this stage, that he will have to demit office because of this particular case. We have Advocate Subhash Chandra with us on the broadcast. Let's quickly check in with him. Advocate Subhash Chandra, at this stage, if I were to ask you, what are the chances of the Chief Minister of Kerala demitting his office, having to force to demit his office because of this particular case?
Krishna, I don't think so. Actually, this will create more legal questions into these issues, because see, actually this happened. The complaint is regarding the previous government, and the allegations are against the previous cabinet. And now the new assembly election has held in 2016, in 2021, and Pinarayi Vijayan has elected as a new chief minister to the new assembly. So obviously, even if a verdict is coming again from the Lokayukta against Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan or the cabinet, or the decision is against them, then only it will obviously create a new legal issues, whether the CM has to demit his office on a issue regarding the previous government or the previous assembly. So I don't think it will be ended up very soon, or he has to demit his office immediately after the Lokayukta verdict, Lokayukta judgment, even if it's against him.
Okay. Then let me ask you the question I've been asking Ajit and Jisha over here. If the judgment is against him, in the court of the public, as somebody from Kerala yourself, in the court of the public, how much of a damage would be to the Chief Minister's image?
Even the petitioner, Sashikumar, said that even he knows the financial status of this person, Vijayan, who is a popular political leader. He's a very poor man. He hasn't made anything. So he has no problem in giving this financial assistance to his family. But the problem is the misuse of CMDRF. It has certain rules. It has to be supposed to be given to the victims of poor, but basically to poor families and victims of accidents or natural calamities. And there are a set of rules. So he mainly questions the violation of the rules, and also the government's discretion to allotting to which all persons are they giving. The NCP was a coalition partner of the LDF, and the other person, second person, is a CPM MLA who was given the financial aid. And the third person is the policeman who died while giving escort to the CPM state secretary of the then CPM state secretary, Kodiyeri Balakrishnan. So the petitioner was basically questioning this kind of a favoritism and giving to the people who are close to CPM. So this has been an allegation raised by opposition parties for a long time, that CPM would give this kind of misuse the power for people close to them. And this kind of reinforcing this, if the case comes up against the CM, then it kind of reinforces that allegation that the CPM will has a favoritism to all the people and the parties.
Disha, I wanted to ask you something in context of what you just said, right? In terms of the money that has been taken out from the CM Disaster Relief Fund, that's the problem here, because it's not about giving money to people and helping them, but then as a chief minister, you have been entrusted with that money, and you can't use it, while violating laws. I think that's the core problem here. And we would like to know from you, in terms of what's happening on the ground, in terms of the people's perception about it, in terms of Has he actually misused his powers?
Yes, there are specific rules in terms of allotting the fund from the CMDR fund, especially last year during the flood, not last year, in 2018. A lot of people have contributed from the meager revenue. Like people have donated their gold, some have donated their the meager salary they have from their to this CMDRF fund, especially after natural calamities like flood. So there are a lot of emotions going into this CMDRF fund. It has to be properly, there must be transparency in its spending, there must be proper rules in the spending, and it should be properly discussed. So here, particularly in this case, the allegation is that there was no proper request from the part of the parties who got the fund. So the families, they haven't sent a proper application for allocating this financial aid from the CMDRF. So there are lapses in procedures. So considering all this, like the people's emotion towards the CMDRF fund, because there are a lot of contributions from their part, and also the misuse of rules. So there must be strong reactions coming up.
Oh, there must be. We'll wait on that. Let me take this across to Advocate Subhash Chandra, who continues to be with us on this broadcast. Advocate Subhash Chandra, talk to us about the fact that now this is going to be referred to a 3-judge bench. What happens legally, step by step from here on, and how long before we have a final verdict on this?
See, actually, now the case will the matter will have to heard first from the beginning itself. So because the matter was heard by 2 bench, and now the new member has been added to this hearing. So it will be heard from the day one. It will be heard from the beginning itself. So the arguments will have to take place, and the matter will be heard. And we cannot say within this much time the hearing will be concluded. So it has to be decided by the Lokayukta and their convenience. So and even after the matter, if they are reserving the order according to Supreme Court judgments in some other matters, they will have to deliver the judgment within 3 months. So, and that's up to the convenience of the Lokayukta. So I think it may take another year or more than that to conclude the new proceedings.
Advocate Subhash Chandra, stay with us. Ajit, from the way this discussion is going, tell us in terms of, as an emotive issue, how emotive an issue is something like this? Because, you do have we are in 2023, we have our Lok Sabha elections coming up in 2024. The image of the Chief Minister is very important for LDF's chances of doing well in those elections.
Right. While it is an emotive issue, and certainly, the educated lot in Kerala would certainly take note of the case. But as the advocate said, that there are certain loopholes in this whole story. Right. So if they can go back and say that this is from the previous tenure, not from this government, right? And because a lot of his cabinet colleagues were also named in it, I think
17 other cabinet colleagues have been named apart from Chief Minister Pinarayi himself.
Yeah, and coming to 2024 polls, it's not. I don't think so. This is going to be something that would be much of an talking point. What is more important and what is going to be picked up by the opposition in Kerala primarily would be the poor financial state of the country, of the state, right? So how it is so much in debt. The state is that. I think that is something which is going to be one of the primary things. And when it comes to Lok Sabha polls, there's a national narrative as well that plays around. So I don't think so. This is going to have a much of an impact in terms of a political, scoring point.
Right. And it's interesting that because of an inordinate delay in the proceedings, according to the activist who filed the petition, that's the reason why we're discussing it right now. Advocate Subhash Chandra, if you're with us, tell us, how much of an inordinate delay are you witnessing, and also this entire thing about dilution of the Lokayukta in Kerala?
See, actually, the complainant may raise his concerns, but we know about the limitations of our legal system. Even in Supreme Court, the matters are pending for decades here. So the Lokayukta or any other forum, any other judicial forum may point out their limitations regarding their administrative issues or other issues. So it's a matter of fact in our country that the judicial forums are facing a lot of issues for proceedings with such cases. So we cannot blame them. We will have to provide the administration, the government have to provide them the facilities for adjudication and for proper support for adjudication of matters. So the issue, the concern of the complainant, I agree with him, but we cannot blame the system also, the judicial system also, the forums also. So we are facing the similar issues in Supreme Court, in High Courts, in other judicial forums also. And interestingly, another thing related to this issue, this is raising another issue of the powers of the governor. The Kerala government has amended the Kerala Lokayukta Act, and this is not approved by the governor of Kerala, which is pending before the governor of Kerala. And a similar matter has come before the Supreme Court of India from the state of Telangana, and which is now considered by the Supreme Court. And the bench has, the Supreme Court bench has directed the Solicitor General to take the instruction from Union of India and the governor also in that petition. So this is also in a similar manner. The governor is holding the bill passed by the State Assembly of Kerala. So this will create a lot of legal fights in Supreme Court, in before the High Court also. So we will have to wait and see what will happen in this matter.
Right. So you are expecting a showdown at the Supreme Court. That's what Advocate Subhash Chandra is telling us. Jisha, would you concur with that? Are you also looking at a showdown at the Supreme Court eventually? Many showdowns at the Supreme Court over the Lokayukta in Kerala?
Yes. For the past 1 year, Kerala government has been waiting for the governor's assent on this particular, not just this bill. There are other controversial bills that are pending for his approval, and even the government hasn't approached the courts of Supreme Court so far, but learning from the experience of Telangana, they might do. But governor recently said that he is going for a legal advice, and he also said that he might refer it to president. But so much time has passed on, but he hasn't done anything on that. And coming to this Lokayukta Amendment Bill, the major concern raised by the government is that there is no provision to file an appeal when there is a verdict against a person in holding a power. They have to the chief minister or whoever this Lokayukta is asking to take action under Section 18 of the Lokayukta Act. It has binding powers, and they will have to take a decision by removing this person from the public office immediately. So there is no provision for filing an appeal. That is one concern raised by the LDF government. That is one justification they are raising for amending this act. But apart from that, this Lokayukta Act was introduced by LDF government itself in 1998, and also there's CPM stand in other states not against dilution of Lokayukta. So it is being vehemently being questioned in Kerala.
Right, Jisha Surya, there, our special correspondent, getting us that ground report from Kerala. Thank you so much, Jisha, for joining us, and thank you, Advocate Subhash Chandra, for being with us on this broadcast and putting that big news into perspective. And Ajit Vijay Kumar in the studio with us. Thank you so much for being with us. And with us, wrap here on this particular edition of News 9 Live. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it with News 9.